I am sure many of you are getting set for the Christmas festivities and holidays. We thank God for his mercies and grace. Now, rapists who also killed their victim last year are certainly not getting mercies and grace. Yes, the saying that justice may limp but gets there eventually is their lot. Crimes committed have consequences in the long run. Remember the case of Blessing Olajide, who was raped and murdered 18 months ago? Well, the culprits have been given judgments that shows that the law at, and all in the society abhors rapists and killers. Stay tuned for more on this. Another rape case on our lineup today is that of a 75-year-old man who allegedly impregnated a 13-year-old house help. Is this a case of sometimes elders are not wise? What are the facts? We have an update. Then Christmas comes with lots of fun, affection, and sharing of joy with family, friends, and people we come across, and even those we don't know. I mean, people we randomly meet, but we can fill their lives with joy and laughter. Now, Christmas decorations also play a crucial part in all of this. Our correspondent has a feature on the glitz and excitement of the Yuletide for some in Lagos. We also have beautiful love stories that will make you smile and go mushy, including outstanding achievements and honors. But first, the news segment, and my colleague Elizabeth Omori in Abuja is ready for the news. I'll be back after. Hello, Lizzie. Nice to see you.
Hello, Jennifer, and thanks for joining us on the news segment. And I'm sure you know that all the tension has been doused, have actually been doused. I'm so happy for Messi this time around. Anyway, Argentina has won the Qatar 2022 World Cup after defeating France 2-4 in penalties following a 3-3 draw. The explosive encounter, which was the climax of the Mondial, drew cutting on the month-long event. Details in the course of the bulletin. President Muhammadu Buhari is back in the country after a week-long official engagement in the United States. Status correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president arrived Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, in the early hours of Sunday. He was received on arrival by the governors of Bauchi and Kwara states, Minister of State for the FCT, Inspector General of Police, Director General, Department of State Services, and other top government officials. While in Washington, D.C., the president attended the U.S. Africa Leaders Summit convened by President Joe Biden as part of his renewed efforts at resetting and improving U.S. ties with the continent.
Very, very successful. And there are so many things to talk about. But perhaps foremost among all of these things is the fact of the strategic partnership that President Muhammadu Buhari and President Biden have struck. Clearly indicating that the two leaders are on one page in promoting the values of democracy. He described President Muhammadu Buhari as a role model for the continent, as the champion for democracy in Africa. I assure you that this is going to come with a lot of dividends. President Biden has indicated, in the course of this summit, that he is going to work for a permanent seat on the G20 for Africa. If there is that strategic partnership between Nigeria and the United States, there's every indication to assume, to suspect that they will work for the emergence of Nigeria because we're on the same page with them.
Malam Garba Shehu is equally elated over the outcome of the several business and investment fora attended by the president to market Nigeria.
Quickly, one would see what is coming from, the energy sector. President Muhammadu Buhari has been a champion for a just energy transition, under all of these things that are going on with the climate change, processes all over the world. He got the right forum to address the issue. And it is clear from all of the things that have emerged in America that there's a growing consensus between Nigeria and the United States for the use of gas, which is important to our nation as a transition energy. So we hope this will be taken forward. And an important element also is the fact that, we struck this agreement, right there, in the presence of officials representing President Biden, for the 10 million US dollar solar energy, project. That's going to be a change maker for the country. 5,000 megawatts of solar power is huge.
During their three-day high-level engagements, the United States announced several multi-billion-dollar commitments to Africa towards advancing the priorities they share for a prosperous future. Now, women across Nigeria gathered at the nation's capital, Abuja, to celebrate legacies late Mrs. Miriam Babangida left behind, which have empowered Nigerian women and girls to contribute to the development of the nation. This was the celebration of the National Center for Women Development, which was commissioned under Better Life for Rural Women in 1992. Basi Itaikpan reports.
Nigerian women. She created awareness from the grassroots to where we are today, and the awareness she brought to us. She said, this center gave hope and relevance to Nigerian women.
That set the tone for the celebration of the National Center for Women Development at 30, which speakers noted has lived to the ideals of the founder.
We wish to note that there's still much work to be done. This is because Nigerian women are yet to be fully empowered within the framework of national and international targets of bridging the gender inequality gaps.
And I enjoin you all to continue to support the giant strides of the National Center for Women Development in empowering Nigerian women through its various mandated programs and activities.
The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, who was represented, observed that in line with its mandate, the center has supported the goals of the Nigerian agenda and women development.
That part of her support to this center is to extend some of the services that this center has been doing, to include setting up a special center for special needs.
Quality of every society is directly proportional to the respect that society accords their women.
The event was also used to raise funds for the revitalization of the center. Basi Taikman, NTA News.
To data management, the National Bureau of Statistics has finalized plans to implement the two recently launched household surveys on living standard and labor force in the first quarter of 2023 to help provide detailed information on the subjects. Statistician General of the Federation, Adeyemi Adeniro, stated this at the second biannual meeting of the National Consultative Committee on Statistics. Abolade Salami reports.
With the theme, Direct Implication of Sectoral Statistics in Curbing Inflation, statisticians converged on Lagos to fully understand the severity of the global situation on countries and seek ways to mitigate the effect of inflation on households with a view to maintain their consumption levels through the use of adequate and reliable data. They alluded to the fact that critical moments such that the world is experiencing with inflation requires more than conventional headline numbers, but figures that are required by policymakers to help shape both fiscal and monetary measures.
We have designed a new methodology with the World Bank now, so that this survey will run for a period of 12 months.
and at interval on quarterly basis, we'll be coming up with result of unemployment, underemployment, and other indicators, but not in full detail. But on quarterly basis, we'll be able to produce the result for basic headline.
The second Binational Consultative Committee on Statistics meeting also touched on how to strengthen the coordination of statistical production among major practitioners and professionals, as well as other players in the Nigerian statistical system.
Data play key role in any development with reliable and timely information for effective planning, budgeting, implementation of programs and projects, and indeed monitoring and evaluation.
The brainstorming session statisticians submit would help to provide updates and harmonize statistical activities and discussion, as well as reflection on how to move statistical system in Nigeria forward, with each members playing their respective parts. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State has lauded a new Naira note policy of the federal government, describing it as a critical pathway towards achieving economic stability and prosperity. Speaking to correspondent Adamu Sambo on the margins of the Nigeria-US Business and Investment Forum, the governor called for caution in its implementation so that the nation's poor cannot be shortchanged.
While lauding the initiative as very excellent that will stop the prevalence of money laundering and of course criminality where monies are being misused and in a manner that is not beneficial to the economy, we said we should tread some caution because it is going to affect some people at the lower level of the ladder so that we don't impoverish people and cause more pain in the economy. In essence, what we are advocating is for the extension of the period of exchange and of course the upgrading of the limit of withdrawal and so on and so forth, so that the citizens of Nigeria, especially from my state, who are not exposed so much to banking system, will be able to do it within the timeline. And indeed, India, United States of America, every country has done it, but the time limit given is so short.
To entrepreneurship, close to 50 youth have benefited from the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs Youth and Women Training and Empowerment Program on detergent making and other entrepreneurship skills and capacity building. Kenneth Nani reports that the initiative is in line with the federal government's policy to create 3.7 million jobs annually.
This set of graduates in the last 2 weeks have been under intensive skills acquisition drill on soap making, production of perfumes and disinfectants, and they are thankful to the federal government for the opportunity.
I've learned quite a lot from the training, and I hope after living here I could start up a little business of my own.
I want to impact somebody, with what I've learned from here.
Facilitators of the program urge them to also take advantage of other components of the training, including financial propriety, insurance cover, and business regulatory laws to better their entrepreneurial skills.
We are happy that we are producing Nigerians that are very resourceful, that are aspiring to be great. We follow them up on mentorship and continue to mentor them and make sure their goals are achieved.
In a message, Minister of Niger Delta Affairs expressed delight that programs designed by the ministry to enhance human capacity development to keep youths off the creeks are paying off.
It has taken many women and youths off the streets. The National Development Plan of the federal government prioritizes job creation.
Having presented starter packs and compendium of the training module to them, those with outstanding performance were also recognized. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Let's talk politics. Loyalists and supporters of the All Progressives Congress, APC, have expressed optimism in the ability of the party's presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to revamp Nigeria's economy. This was demonstrated as thousands of supporters staged a peaceful rally in Abuja from the Unity Fountain to the Eagle Square. Ifeanyi Izumba reports. Flanked by security and road safety operatives, these Nigerians are making a statement that Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his running mate Shetima will eliminate poverty and revamp the nation's economy if APC is voted into office in 2023.
We are here to stand on the mandate of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, our party bearer, flag bearer. We are here to celebrate him, to show the world that we are APC.
Presidential candidate. Everybody actually should appreciate that APC has forwarded another determined Nigerian that will turn around things in our country.
FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliu, while congratulating the APC supporters for a successful rally, encouraged them to believe in Tinubu, the bridge builder, and work hard towards ensuring that they draw more support for the Jagaban.
So many projects have been done, so many are getting completed, so many will complete before the tenure ends, so many will be initiated, God willing, by our candidate. President, God willing, in 2033 election, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban Tinubu.
She went further to say that the country needs a personality with political sagacity as Tinubu to manage the affairs of Nigeria. In Abuja, Ifani Izumba, NTA News. Now let's take a breather. The news continues shortly.
The 13th edition of the PMB Administration's Scorecard Series will feature the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Dame Pauline Tallen. Date, Monday, 19th December 2022. Time, 10:30 a.m. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Abuja. The event will be broadcast live by NTA, FRCN and VON, and streamed on the social media handles of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer, Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
I'm about to serve better breakfast. If you're in Lagos, you need to see this.
I'm not just filming content, I'm just escaping traffic.
Get more data to enjoy exclusive content. Dial *141# now. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The people they shout. We want
our country people they talk with one voice. Them say that Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them want as president of Nigeria for this president election.
Asiwaju Bola Tinubu na the man where we all know and see all the good work in they do for the country, especially when he be governor of Lagos State.
Now him God use turn Lagos to the best state for Nigeria.
Today, many people all over Nigeria they like to go Lagos, go settle down for business and better life.
Because of the good work when Bola Tinubu do.
People of Nigeria, as Asiwaju do for Lagos, now so him ready to do am for the whole country.
Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu for president of Nigeria. Vote Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party we get broom.
We are quite delighted to thank the following people and institutions for their consistent goodwill and patronage, and for supporting the proudly Nigerian dream. His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari, First Lady Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, ShopRite, the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Covenant University, Nes Cash and Carry, Market Square, Prince Ebano, Buka Hospitality, Sahat Stores, Anglican Diocese of Amish and Nnewi, Catholic Diocese of Onitsha, Just Right Stores, and Aspire Nigeria. What about you? Are you not aware that when you buy made in Nigerian brands like Erisco, you are supporting the creation of more jobs in Nigeria? We therefore enjoin you to patronize made in Nigerian brands like Erisco Foods and join our numerous partners, distributors, and customers who have built a good relationship with us. because they believe in eating healthy food and in economic progress of our country. Thank you and God bless you all.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, FCIIS, FNCS, FBCS, cordially invites the general public to the official commissioning of the National Shared Service Center, NSSC, flag off of 6 million cutting-edge and high-demand digital skills training, as well as the closing ceremony of 2022 Digital Nigeria International Conference, Exhibition and Awards by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. This is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's administration's effort of diversifying the economy for job creation, wealth, and prosperity. Date 20th December 2022, time 10 a.m. prompt, venue National Shared Service Center, Galaxy Backbone Limited, plot 1234 Kur Mohammed Street, off Ahmadu Bello Way, Central Business District, Abuja. All invited guests are expected to be seated by 9:30 a.m. Announcer Dr. Williams Allo, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy.
Esther, you're late again. Esther.
She's a wandering light in the darkness. She's beautiful. Oh, she's a superstar.
Morning, Esther.
She never let her mama down. She's beautiful. She know they care. She know they ever got it for them.
No phones at the table, please. Esther. I love you too.
Don't forget our pick at 4.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Thanks for staying with us. As part of strategies towards enhancing its electoral fortunes in the forthcoming general elections, the People's Redemption Party is embarking on a town hall meeting in all the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to interface with its members and candidates vying for numerous positions. Elizabeth Yila reports that the PRP presidential candidate Kola Abiola and his team's first point of visit is the ancient city of Kano, the birth home of Malam Aminu Kano, who founded the party 50 decades ago.
The visit by the presidential candidate of the People's Redemption Party, Kola Abiola, is to meet with chairman of the party from the Northwestern Zone, Kano State Party executives and candidates vying for various positions on the platform of the PRP. His first point of call was to Ambassador Shehu's residence for consultation and later paid a courtesy visit to the family of the late Malam Aminu Kano, as well as a sightseeing at the late Malam's museum and resting place. The team also paid a visit to traders at Kantinkwari Market to commiserate with them over the flooding incident that led to loss of millions of naira worth of goods. At the town hall engagement, the PRP presidential candidate Kola Abiola introduced his team while he addressed the party members.
My responsibility now is to bring the next generation of politicians in the governance leadership in this country. That I will do the best in government because inshallah we are going to be in government in 2020.
Mr. Abiola further assured the party members of his unwavering allegiance and commitment to the cause of the party, its ideals, and what the late Aminu Kano stood for. In Kano, Elizabeth Yila, NTA News.
Actually, that party was founded 5 decades ago. Now, the Buhari Media Organization has described the temporary opening of the second Niger bridge for use during the festive season as a matter of intense joy, bringing immense relief to motorists in that part of the country. The group, in a statement, says the bridge will not only reduce the annual gridlock during the Christmas period, but also serve as a teaser for Nigerians to experience one of President Buhari's major legacies to posterity. The statement congratulates all Nigerians and acknowledges Ohaneze Indigbo's commendation of President Buhari for keeping faith with the people and delivering on his campaign promises. The group points out that the second Niger bridge is just one of the monuments of development President Buhari is putting in place across the country and reaffirms the president's position to leave the country better than he met it in 2015. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his vice, Hamid Dati, are assured of massive grassroots mobilization and votes from the north-central geopolitical zone of the country. This is coming from Friends of Peter Obi and Hamid Dati Group in collaboration with North Central Presidential Campaign Leadership Forum, who say they will also raise funds to support Labour Party presidential candidate as best option to rebuild trust, unity, and a robust economy for Nigeria.
You will discover that if you are going to look at them and base them on merit, Peter Obi is the one.
Let's work together. All this gathering, if we don't have our PBC, it's just useless. We're just making noise. 1 million march, 2 million march is nonsense. Where is your PBC?
The Obedience project is not about me or my principal, Dr. Peter Obi. It is about restoring the glory and pride of the nation again. It is taking the country from consumption to production.
Speakers described the North Central region as strong and united belt of Nigeria that must stand its ground to hold the nation together with right choices during the 2023 elections. The event was graced by Labour Party leaders from other zones. In other news, President Muhammadu Buhari joins family, friends and associates in oil and gas, engineer and local content promoter Chief Limon Ikpekia OON as he turns 66 on December 19, 2022. The president glorifies God for the gift of life, good health and business successes of the celebrant and notes that the national award winner is a point of reference for Nigerian youth, that entrepreneurship pays. The president wishes Chief Ikpia long life and greater service to God and humanity, and prays that the Adolo of Ewato Kingdom and Odonlagbo of Warri will continue to touch lives. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has described as inaccurate and misleading a video making the rounds on social media showing some stranded Nigerians at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi, India. The video purports that they refused evacuation on Friday, December 16, 2022. A statement signed by the spokesperson of the ministry cleared the air on the status of those evacuated as Nigerians who had been in the custody of the Indian authorities awaiting deportation for reasons such as overstay and completion of various prison terms. The statement adds that some other persons who had not gone through the required procedure for repatriation showed up at the airport requesting evacuation. Following the intervention of the Nigerian High Commission and officials handling the evacuation exercise, a number of these persons who met the conditions for repatriation were cleared and accommodated on the flight. However, a few other Nigerians couldn't make the evacuation flight due to their inability to meet the required conditions set by the Foreigner Regional Registration Offices, FRRO, of the Indian Bureau of Immigration for reasons such as no records of entry into India, children with proxy parents, those who entered India with passports other than Nigerian passports, presentation of undocumented FRRO forms, and inability to file the application form for exit permits. The Nigerian High Commission in India, in a statement, says had appealed to those who could not make the evacuation list to exercise patience and understanding while efforts have been made to ensure that all affected Nigerians are accommodated in the next batch of the evacuation exercise. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs emphasizes the imperative of being acknowledgeable about the entry and exit procedures of the country being visited so as to be well guided to avoid unpleasant situations. And next is sports updates.
Lionel Messi has led Argentina to